Yay, it works. I think it works at least.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3.
What's going on out there in the universe? These are all my A students that show up 4 minutes early to class.
So, Mike, you guys can go to my Amazon store and buy this book. See if I can make the damn thing focus. It's called Cat versus Cat. I figured you might need that.
Just let them duke it out. Survival of the fittest.
I thought he was going to say go to my Amazon store so I can sell something today.
Yeah, well, it hasn't been shipped in yet, so.
I just meant with the buy box debacle. So.
What's
Well, it doesn't bother me because I don't have the buy box for books. So.
Oh, crazy!
What's the buy box?
Yeah, we should just start these businesses without the buy box.
I still got the buy box for CDs, and I'm selling those pretty good.
Disc media I don't think is going to take as much of a hit as books because all the mega sellers are actually way more into books than they are CDs and DVDs. What you eating, Fida? Were you shaking up a salad, dude? I seen you shaking something. See, look at that, my man.
He's eating healthy.
Yeah, nothing but greens.
Trying to lose like 40 pounds, so in about 10 years, maybe.
If it doesn't get fixed soon, somebody's going to have to buy my box, says Jordan in YouTube. I'll pay a little bit less than sell back your book. I'll do about 3 cents per item. Times are tough.
Oh, this is a YouTube live call?
Yeah, dude, it's live for everybody out there in the universe. And you're already taking clothes off. It's really not even officially started yet.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh man, Chipotle salad, dude. Damn, they come for Fida about the Chipotle even in the YouTube chat.
Bro, I'm opening up YouTube.
Hi guys, I'm seeing 2 boxes based on condition for use, like one very good and one for good. Yeah, it's a mess right now. It's the condition. Just condition everything is brand new. Shrink wrap it, send it in. You'll get rich. Worst that happens, you lose your account on Amazon and you move on to greener pastures. I hate the condition notes they don't make no sense. And the multiple condition buy boxes is 100% related to the FBM buy box crisis that we have. So if you are somebody who wants to try to finagle the system, sure, condition your books as high as you want. I mean, honestly, we sell things that are better than good condition anyway. I feel like there's not enough validity behind it to justify pricing up or wasting my time trying to condition the 500 books I'm sending on a weekly basis. Here in Canada, it's been this way all year. Yeah, Canada and the UK. We got people from Canada and UK in the group. It's been this way all year long for them. And there are some things they have been messing around with to try to figure out how to get the buy box over to FBM. But there is a prime bump in some situations, but it's not nowhere near like we're used to in the US marketplace. And for those wondering, my sales have been between 300 and like 550 or 600. It's the highest day I've had since this thing started 2 weeks ago. So my sales aren't terrible, and I've kind of been talking about it with some of the one-on-ones today. Like, if this is like, say for a crazy reason, this decides to be permanent, I'm still making well over $30 an hour, which is better than any job I could get in central Pennsylvania, much more than I was making as a CVS store manager. So I think some of it is just, I don't know, guys. I'm so burnt out with talking about this, honestly. This is the third go around. I thought everybody would kind of be like done with it, like, because it's the third time, but it seems like everybody's freaking out more this time around than the previous two. So I think I don't know how to feel. It's tough for me because this has been like my whole YouTube channel, my whole business model, right? Is I still think you still make money doing media. Is this impacting new media too? No, it's not impacting no new buy boxes or anything. Just the used media. That includes video games. Video games. You think books, CDs, and DVDs are bad? The video game sellers. Now that's a brutal category right now because they pay up for their items versus us. We're only paying a little bit, but it's not affecting new items, right? So it comes to question if this does stay like this, right? Do you just source online new CDs and DVDs if you want to continue selling media, right? That's got to be the play. It's tough. I'm curious. Somebody here shed some light and give me some opinions and give me some good, bad, and the ugly, where you're at, what your mentality is. My mentality, I tell it to everybody. I'm here for at least 6 more months if this stays the same, right? So like I got 6 months of runway here to let this work itself out one way or another. I do think maybe here somebody's got a different opinion. I think Amazon won't tell us either way whether this is permanent or whether it's not permanent. I don't think we get a letter in the mail or even like a news post on Amazon that they decided to do, X or Y. I think this is just something that's just going to continue to exist. But I'm curious here. You guys have the floor, and for all the YouTube people out there that are panicking one way or another, so throw your theories out there and yeah, be heard. I think it's been like.
All right.
Go ahead, Steph.
Well, if nobody else is going to talk, I wasn't originally going to say anything, but my take is that I'm not too worried about it. I feel like I'm one of the only people that are like not, like, I think most people believe it's intentional and whatever. And I think the only intentionality behind it is because they were having inventory control issues right before this happened, the last 2 times it hit. I don't think that's a coincidence. And I think a lot of people are starting to like theorize like, oh, the long-term feasibility of FBA and used books. And I think a lot of people are just starting to spiral and they're twisting their brains in a knot going, well, actually FBA books doesn't, or not just books, used FBA media doesn't make like long-term sense. And I heard it said very well that it's kind of like people have imposter syndrome. And when this stuff happens, they go, well, I deserve this. This is right. And I don't think that's true. I think that we're like, it's just that imposter syndrome. And if you don't believe in the business, then you should just switch to merchant fulfilled. That's my personal opinion. Like if you genuinely think merchant fulfilled is better, then why do you still do this? Put your money where your mouth is. So I'm long haul, I'm very optimistic, or you could say I'm bullish. Is that the right term? Bullish? Yeah.
Yeah, Deb hates when I use that term. It pisses her off. I say I'm bullish on all types of things. She's like, shut the hell up. I'm like, all right, I'll shut up. I think, listen, I got a rude awakening for anybody that wants to go to thrift stores and scan for FBM. You go ahead and let me know how it goes for you because I've done it. We used to have to live that life with restock limits, and you ain't finding shit. 1-2% accept rate if you're lucky. It's a bloodbath out there. If you're going to sell books, FBM, you might have a little bit more success in CDs and DVDs. But if you think you're going to be the solo person, guy or girl that's going to have a FBM operation, you can make tens, maybe a couple $100s a month. But good luck making thousands of dollars a month doing an FBM operation. And for me personally, I don't like. This is why I got fake backgrounds like this, because I don't want to live this stuff in real life. This here is nightmare fuel to me. I don't want to have the storage unit, all the bookcases, packing, shipping, returns, all of that nonsense. That's why I appreciate FBA. I do fall on the side of I think this goes away. Is this something that probably exists forever whenever they get jammed up with orders or backlogged? 100%. But I mean, it's tough because I know people are in different financial situations, and it sucks for a lot of people that are relying on the extra $100,000, $2,000 coming in from their Amazon business. But it's the third time it's happened this year. After the first time, maybe you should have squirreled away a little bit of coin to kind of get you over this possibly happening again. But I mean, it's tough for me to lay on one side or the other. I could see it going either way, right? But I'm definitely leaning towards the sides. This is a glitch. until the API syncs up with what the product pages are saying, it's 100% a glitch in my mind. Now, if it does switch and we're scanning and the buy box is going to merchant and it's showing that right on your listing software and your scouting software, then I think maybe some more bells start going off, some the smoke alarm starts going off. But until then, I mean, and listen, whoever is taking advice from this KJ Amazon mod, you might as well be listening to I mean, if you believe KJ, then you believe Bigfoot is real, the Chupacabra, everything else that's crazy myth, legendary type shit, because everybody's like, oh, did you see KJ Amazon posted an update? We have no idea. Who the hell is this guy? It could be his first 2 weeks on the job here, and we're letting him decide what we're doing with our business and our life. And when this does correct, right, I'm going to add him to the list of people. We got Yoda, we got Larry, and we'll have KJ. So every time this comes around, we add somebody else to the list we're never going to listen to again. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, and I was going to point out something else with the scanning softwares. People are like, well, this is the new normal. And it's like, okay, but like Canada, this is their new normal. And their software does reflect it. Like it's accurate. They scan and it's lowest, whatever the buy box winner is, which is often merchant. So
all right,
I just don't see a reason why they would keep it
who
broken.
Else has got opinions?
I think we have to realize that we are selling stuff that people want, not necessarily need, with few exceptions. So you need to just remember that. It's not like we're selling food or clothing. For the most part, we're selling used media. And maybe with the exception of some folks that still do textbooks, nothing we're selling is what people absolutely have to have. It's all a want. And that's going to fluctuate based on the economy, what the current styles are. So you just if you think it works, just stick with it. Now, I'm fortunate. I'm retired and I've got a steady income that way. I don't have to do this. I want to do this. But just remember, we're selling stuff people don't necessarily need. It's a want, not a need. And also add Nano to that list of people to never take advice from the Amazon person from the YouTube forum or from the seller forums. What a clown.
The mods are just mods. They literally just they have a script. If they're even human, and they're probably just all AI bots, honestly. So
well, maybe back then they were real, but I showed you that the chat I got into with the Amazon AI about it, and I copied they have it set up where you can't keep a copy of a chat. So I kept the window open and just copied it all and pasted it into a Word document and forwarded it off to. It was kind of crazy. This AI bot countered itself like 4 times. So that's when I said, okay, I'm just going to give up and not worry about it.
Brian, give me your opinion. You do heavy OA textbooks, so you have a lot more skin in the game when it comes to overall dollars of inventory.
Yeah, I worry about the inventory I'm stacking. My last 30 days are down about 3% from, I guess, the prior 30 days. Definitely sort of a notable difference there. But yeah, I also don't know what the mixes are with sort of ROI and everything like that. But I mean, the way that I try to do it, I'm trying to ensure that when I buy something, it's going to be profitable, and it's going to be profitable based on the merchant price. And so one change that I made, I thought I made it 2 weeks ago, but I made it over the weekend, was I'm now matching the lowest price across the board with my stuff within my confines of my minimum price. So I'm willing to be the minimum price out there. I think I saw 2 examples though, where even when I was the minimum price, I'm losing to World of Books or Thrift Books or something like that, even if they're priced above me, which super sucks, because that's not just we're giving it to the lowest price. That is, we are 100% not giving it to FBA, which basically says, oh, take my money for storing this stuff, and if I'm lucky, you'll sell it for me when you're good and ready to do that unless everybody else is out of stock. So that's very bothersome from that perspective. If it was just going to the lowest price, that's less bothersome because you could make the argument that's better for the customer.
Ryan, what condition are the books that you have listed that are currently like basically suppressed?
They're all conditioned. So I send my books to a prep center and they condition the books and they're pretty conservative with it. So I've got everything from acceptable to like new. I try not to buy acceptable books generally, but then some of the books you get are acceptable. So we put them in that way. And so I don't know. I don't have any rhyme or reason. I think I saw two of those examples. I'd like to find more, but I don't remember the condition notes or anything on that. I'm still selling books, like probably similar numbers to Mike, but when I'm paying $20 a book, uh, that kind of sucks doing similar numbers to Mike, because you're selling $300 or $400 a day, selling between 5 and 10 items a day, I guess at that level. So
I seen the same thing. I seen FBA losing to Merchant, even though they were priced lower. So it it just doesn't make sense. You start piecing it together, it doesn't make sense any way, shape, or form. If it was just the lowest price, then so be it, right? Then all right, that's fine. We're fine with that. If you say we're gonna roll, so be it. But when the FBA is even cheaper, and even if it is like, oh, the merchant is very good instead of good, right? It just the conditions on Amazon are a joke anyway. So they don't even alleviate the problem because we all just start sending our stuff as like new. Who cares? What's the consequences? You get a bad review, maybe you get a little uptick in returns. That's all that's going to happen. People are just going to game the condition system. That's all it's going to be.
we'll just start selling as new, Mike, and get the buy box that way. I mean, there are people who literally do that and then they'll shrink wrap their books. Like, that's crazy.
I know a guy, I got one-on-ones with a guy. He's been selling new for well over a year now, and he doesn't even polybag or shrink wrap anything. Just saying. Like, if it's to alleviate the problem of having a bunch of media in their warehouses, you think these people are just going to roll over and just kind of let it go, right? Like,
Well,
at
it's
that point,
also tell us that, right? I'll stop shipping my stuff to your warehouse, but like, you're not telling me that.
I don't think they will.
That's why I don't personally think it's related to like bottlenecks because they're literally what they're doing is creating conditions where more books are just going to collect dust in their warehouses.
That's true.
People
I
are
didn't
still
even think
sending
of
shit
that.
in.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's not even conducive for them actually clearing space because everything is just going to sit there.
Well, what I think could be the case, just given the other side of that, is the books become sellable FBA when they're checked into UPS. Now the dates can adjust there, but I've been getting a lot more returns in the past, say, 3 months. Now I was doing a lot of textbooks for high school and things in August, but a lot more returns across the board for missed fulfillment promise. So if you're Amazon and you don't want to miss your fulfillment promise because they're losing money for every single one of those returns as well, because they're paying the credit card fees at the very minimum, going back and forth on those pieces. I think that yes, they're going to stockpile a bunch of stuff in the warehouse, but once they get on the shelves like they are in Mike's warehouse in his background there, that's a lot easier to deal with rather than like, oh, Brian checked in a book at UPS and now it's at the warehouse and we need to have it to the customer tomorrow. That's a headache because they have to find that one book out of that one box and get it going quickly to get it to the customer. They set up that system, so that's entirely on them. They could wait till it's checked in at the warehouse to sell everything, but they don't. So that would be sort of my theory about what you said, Steph. But like, I don't know that I'm right. That's just sort of like the other side of it.
I mean, they are raking in 3x the storage fees on all media sellers right now. So
Yeah, maybe that's it too.
there's got to be more to it than that, though. They don't make enough off the storage fees to justify such a huge shift.
Well, it's also if they have a desire to do something, if you communicate that to your sellers, it's a lot better because then we can make intelligent decisions rather than speculative decisions, right? So if they want less used media in the warehouse, they can say, hey, we're going to charge you a lot more for the used media that you're storing in our warehouse. And we're not going to prioritize it because we don't want this stuff here. We want to sell it on the platform, but you need to merchant fulfill it. Mike's got to go to a storage unit 3 times a day to send stuff to people. I get that, but like that would be smart. That would be the way to do that. Versus, send everything into FBA. But they want these warehouses. They want the people going. They want to own the last mile at this point of everybody coming to your house. So part of that is having books and media available.
Yeah, I agree. I'm gonna throw it over to Fida. He has employees. He does bulk books at scale. So he's a strong opinion individual. So I'm gonna let him chime in and give his 2 cents about what he thinks going on.
Well, I don't actually know what's going on, but I wouldn't be surprised if this was permanent, and I also wouldn't be surprised if they reverted it and then just did it again in the future. Obviously, there's a lot of theories going around, and some of them seem plausible, but then others contradict each other, like what Mike was just mentioning. Not that he contradicted himself, but there's a theory going around that they want to eliminate all the stupid items that are going in, like a lot of used books with no rank that are just sitting and taking up warehouse space. So we thought, initially this would be a way to alleviate warehouse space by getting rid of those sellers. But then by not giving the FBA the buy box, they're actually increasing the warehouse space because now we're all just sending a bunch of shit that's going to sit there and not sell. Yeah, what else did you want me to touch on? Sorry, I'm kind of like multitasking, but give me like a question. One of my employees is messaging me right now that he's having car problems, so I'm kind of messaging.
Are you going to continue to buy Gaylords of books as this goes on?
Yeah, so I'm not going to stop. I'm not going to change anything. At the end of the day, it is still profitable. Yeah, we'll probably make less money, but it is still profitable. It is still a good business model. I might have to obviously adjust my business accordingly, perhaps, maybe implement different structures, maybe adjust the triggers to only, to basically increase the dollar value or the floor on the items that I'm taking in. But at this point in time, I'm not changing anything. Everything is going to go exactly the way, because if you spend so much mental time and thought trying to change your entire business model, and then tomorrow they literally switch it back to what it was before with the buy box being, all fine and dandy, and then they never do this again, then you just wasted a whole bunch of time. Perhaps, maybe I let somebody go because of this, because, I had a fear of, losing money or whatever, and then I just fired that person for no reason. So at this current stage, I will be doing everything exactly the same. However, I have been pivoting and transitioning to other things as far as business goes. Stuff that I'm not going to necessarily disclose right now, but it's not a change to what I'm doing, but it's an extension of my business. So, and this was primarily just to increase revenue in the first place, but by doing that, by trying to increase revenue, now it's actually looking more like a fail-safe or safeguard in case anything continues to happen or to be permanent with this. I also want to touch back on what somebody said about this being the norm for Canada. I don't think Canadian sellers actually deserve a prime bump, and not because they're Canadian.
Yeah, dude, that's countryist or whatever the hell the fancy word is.
But specifically because I don't think that the Amazon in Canada has the infrastructure and the logistics the way that they do in the US. I don't think they have quite as many warehouses. So the prime bump isn't quite deserved because, if you're on one side of Canada, there's very few media sellers, well, not very few, but there's far less. So the logistical part of trying to get a book across the country for Amazon doesn't make sense for them to give the prime bump. So I see how it makes sense for them to give the buy box to merchant fulfilled and other things that they don't. Yeah, stuff like benefits that we get in the US, it just doesn't make sense in Canada logistically. Maybe in the next 5 years, once they get more warehouses and more logistical infrastructure, then it'll make sense. The prime bump will be well deserved. But at this point in time, I don't think it's warranted. So that's just what I had to say about Canada. But yeah, anything else you want me to touch on?
Nah, dude, I appreciate your opinion. Appreciate you having employees and sharing what your processes and thoughts are behind this whole chaotic thing that exists that we all have to seemingly deal with every month or so. Uh, People in the YouTube chat, is that the used CD guy? Yeah, the used book guy's dead and gone. He got rid of that bum. I think they're picking the book by zip code so shipping is fast. Nah, even if you look all the FBM stuff, they're not shipping it priority. It's going media, snail mail, or bound print and matter. So the shipping times on all these FBM books, CDs, DVDs, it's like 6 to 8 days out on a lot of these. So it's not even like I can see that's another thing, right? Maybe if they were doing seller fulfilled prime with the media, right? Like that's a thing. Like people do seller fulfilled prime. That's not even the case. So like the people aren't. Let's be real, all right? Besides us resellers who don't care if we got to wait 4 days to get something, 6 days to get something, people want things yesterday. That's the only reason Amazon grew to be the mega monster it is because people want their things immediately. That's why they pay for Prime. That's why the Prime bump exists, because they can get it right away. That's why Amazon charges all the fees. So it's a software glitch. Amazon wouldn't intentionally sabotage FBA unless it's losing money for them. I don't know enough about it, and the fact that it's happened 3 times, I like how can you purposely, because it's not like everything breaks, it's just the used media category in video games, right? Like, so a glitch, the same glitch that happened, like somebody deleted the same line of code like 3 different times in a year. I get what you're saying glitch wise, but there's more to the story that we're probably never going to get. When did it all start? It started November 3rd. It's the 18th. We're 15 days in. Everybody's going hungry. The weather's getting colder. We don't know how we're going to survive.
I think you also did bring up a good point on your last call with Max, where as far as returns go for used media, it's probably such a pain in the ass to train the employees to condition the items because, yeah, there are specific guidelines on the conditioning, but a lot of it could be, up to interpretation of the person who's inspecting it. So if you guys notice on your returns, there are so many times where it's just a book and it says that the person returned it because, it didn't meet the fulfillment date, but then the Amazon person will disposition it as unfulfillable or unsellable or whatever, and they'll just send it back to you. I think it's just not cost effective for them to have to condition every single return. So like if you're just selling new stuff, it's like, okay, it's new, either it was opened or it wasn't, or whatever the case may be. But for used, we have so many different degrees of conditions, and I think that's just a pain in the ass for Amazon. So perhaps, if they do fix this issue, they will probably, I could definitely see them reducing the amount of conditions that there are and only allowing certain conditions to be sold, because I think allowing acceptable items to be sold is just stupid on their part. I don't think that's beneficial at all.
I'm going to say this out loud just because I think it's funny, and it probably screw a lot of yous over, but it's still funny to me. If they get rid of all the conditions besides good condition and everything else gets stranded, and I just sit back and I laugh for like 3 months straight because all the hot shots that condition their things like new, very good, and I just laugh my way to the bank. But I don't think that. I do agree that the conditions are a joke. They should be good or new. Like that's it. Like nothing in between. And they can have one flat condition for everything. There is no way. Like, I wish somebody could go work at the returns department for like media on Amazon for a day just so we can get a picture, because their condition guidelines are pathetic. You can sell books in good condition without dust jackets if you wanted to. It falls under Amazon's guidelines as good condition even without a dust jacket. None of us would ever do that. So it's like this is the shit they had when they first launched Amazon back in 1884. And they haven't updated it since. I do think they need to streamline it. I mean, look at the catalog of media. Cover scan anything. There's 45 different listings. People got books listed as home and kitchen, books listed as unknown bindings, right? There's a lot that we know sucks within Amazon's catalog, especially within media. So it is what it is. I'm just gonna keep doing me. And keep sending and keep selling. That's all I can do. What else am I going to do? I have no. This is my only life. Without FBA, I'm going to have to wander the streets. I don't know. You guys are just going to have to come talk to me anyway. Even if you stop selling on Amazon, we're still going to have like a weekly call where we can get together. What else is going on out there? Anybody else got opinions? You can be one way or the other. If you think that this is how it's going to be permanently, speak up. I ain't got nothing against it. I ain't going to yell at you. I guarantee if I started selling hot dogs, I'd make bank. I'm just saying.
Now vegan ones.
You never even tried one, dude.
I don't have to.
Yeah, you do.
There's a lot of things I haven't tried in this world, and there's a lot of things that I just know I don't have to try.
So I don't have an opinion, but I do have a question. I've been now even before the buy box issue using Be Cool. If there was more than 20 merchant fulfilled offers, Be Cool couldn't see the FBA offers, and I think that's probably true of all of the repricers. My question is something I was noticing when I was repricing some stuff and fixing some stuff was that increasingly Be Cool can't see the buy box at all. Like, and it'll say buy box 0, which means the repricing rules aren't working very well. So my question is, have other people needed to adjust their pricing rules with this buy box fiasco?
You're going to get a range of answers, and I'll give you a few of them. I haven't changed mine because I just compared the FBA buy box and reprice it, still pulling the API data, which is still quote unquote accurate, but it's not accurate on the product page. Then you also have people that turn the repricer off completely. I mean, I don't think it's going to make a big difference either way because if it does come back and you turn it back on, it's just going to go down there anyway. I'd rather try to get some sales along the way here instead of just turn it off. It's like, all right, there's not much water coming out of the faucet. Let me just turn it off fully, right? Like, let me at least get a little bit of water coming out of the faucet while this is going on. So I still think you have to reprice during these times. I did it both times prior. I kept buying, and yeah, on reprice it, I don't know about Be Cool because I don't use it, but reprice it, I checked my reports the other day. It's still repricing as normal, and it's still penny undercutting the buy box. So I haven't seen anything change on that aspect of it, but maybe somebody here uses Be Cool and can give a little bit of insight. Or Leslie is the only Be Cool user left in the universe, kind of like how Brian used to be our turbo lister guy.
Yeah. Yeah, so
I use it, but I haven't adjusted anything.
okay.
But I
Yeah.
use the AI version, and I think you don't use AI, do you?
No, I use the lowest tier plan. And I have it checking the buy box. So I just got buy box for DVD and CD on October 21st. And then this happened. And I tweaked my rules and it was rocking and rolling. I had a great week and then this happened.
I think it's because they went in and changed your account to buy box eligible. They flipped all of our accounts not buy box eligible.
Um,
Figured out it's Leslie's fault. So thanks.
Yep.
thanks.
They said she wants to be a pain in our ass. We're going to screw over all of her friends. Her friends are going to pay.
This is because she wanted her dollar. Take my dollar for all that Universal.
Yeah.
I would assume that they're still pulling off the API data. I don't know why it wouldn't be, but like I said, I have no idea how Be Cool works. So
I just think something is messed up and Be Cool can't see the buy box in lots of cases. And it's set to compare against buy box for all offers and then to go 10% above merchant fulfilled. But it's not even seeing it. Like, um, I mean, stuff is still repricing, but when you go through the pages, you go down that buy box column and there's tons of zeros where Be Cool cannot see the buy box. So Be Cool can only go off of what Amazon gives them.
and also remember at the beginning of the month when this happened, everybody had a pile of listing errors which are now gone. If you haven't noticed, like all of the listing errors corrected themselves a few days ago. So at the beginning of the month when we had our weekly call, everybody's like, I got 20, 40, 60 listing errors. And I didn't go in and fix them. They automatically fixed themselves, and those cleaned themselves up not that long ago. So it's broken. Somebody get the hammer and start. Bob the Builder, can he fix it? Just keep banging on the servers until the things turn back on.
So I have a question. I have not even bothered repricing anything or like even honestly checking my listings. I'm not even looking at any of that stuff until it's reverts back right now. So some people have tried to reprice and they know, like, so my question is, because I've heard two different things. Is it still that you can be priced cheaper than MF and not get the buy box on a lot of listings, or is it only, or is it like if you, because somebody told me that they have priced and they can match, the price of MF and then they can win back the buy box, but I'm not sure if that's the case for everybody, if anybody's tried testing that out.
I have still gotten the buy box on some books. I have not seen it on the disc media too much.
I don't think if you price below MF that you will not win the buy box. It wouldn't even make sense. You have the better listing, the better shipping method, which is FBA. I think if you price below MF, you're guaranteed to get the buy box, but I still wouldn't advise doing that. I wouldn't even advise matching merchant fulfilled. You have to realize that, and you just think about this logically. People are willing to pay more money for their items to get there faster. So even if you don't compete with the lowest price, which is like the merchant at this point in time, you can still price above, probably even 50%. And there are people out there that are still going to click, they're going to sort by Prime only. People want Prime shipping. They pay for the service, they want to utilize the service. There'd be no point in paying for a Prime service and then buying all from the merchant. So there are people that are still doing it. You will still get sales. I don't advise anyone to try to compete with the merchant at this time. You're just going to shoot yourself in the foot and then you're probably just going to end up quitting.
Yeah, especially in during Christmas, I bet people are going to be in a rush to get their stuff.
100%. Every single, like, I always want things faster. There's times where I'll find something on a website and it's like, okay, it's gonna take a week to ship, and then I'll find it on Amazon and it's gonna cost me 25, 30% more. I would pay that money to get it to my house faster because when I want to order something, I need it that day or the next day. So this is the same mindset for everyone. Like this is America. We're Americans are lazy. We want shit right away. We don't want to drive to the store to get something. We want it delivered to our house. That's why this whole business model is so successful.
I just pulled up a real life example. I'm going through my cheapest inventory. So I'm losing the buy box to Jensen Books. We got the same exact price, 649. Their shipping time is 5 to 8 days. Mine's is FBA. So mine's is FBA good at 649. Theirs is 649 very good. Theirs doesn't get shipped. You're not going to get it for 5 to 8 days, and they get the buy box over me with the same exact price FBA. Amazon makes $5 and some change off of my DVD at 649 versus FBM they make $1 and some change. It just doesn't make sense why this exists.
So, yeah, so just based on that example, this has to be a glitch. This doesn't even make sense logically, mathematically, or financially for Amazon. Why would they choose to make less money when they can choose to make more money? There has to be something wrong in the back end. This doesn't even make sense. I could see potentially for that unique item, if is yours on reserved or is it available now?
No, it's available. It's been listed. It's been listed since last year. This is one of my oldest DVDs.
The only way I could see that happening is if potentially the merchant, yeah, it says 5 to 8 days or whatever you said. But let's say, for example, you're in Pennsylvania. What if your item is theoretically in California and then logistically Amazon just can't get it to you quicker than the merchant for whatever reason? I could see in this unique case that might happen, but I don't think that should be happening um, generally.
So I got another one for you. Two buy boxes on this one. Um, Use very good. 249 is the main buy box going to the merchant Goodwill plus 399 delivery. You get it between November 24th and the 26th. And then the secondary buy box is the same exact price, FBA, for 648. It's literally the same exact price, and they're giving the main buy box to the very good merchant who's not going to get it to you for over a week versus the FBA, which you're going to get within 1 or 2 days.
But it's a mega merchant. Only mega merchants when they're beating out or equal to the lowest price. So you will not see like Joe Schmo with 5 reviews getting the buy box over a lower price. That's what I'm seeing. So Goodwills, Thrift Books, World of Books, all those guys, Jensen, people who have 100,000 reviews, maybe 50,000 reviews, is what I've noticed.
I wonder if for the if it has anything to do with like return rate percentage, because perhaps when they're doing it merchant fulfilled, um, you know, maybe they have a team of people in their warehouses that are very good at, making sure that everything is completely perfect, everything's conditioned exactly the way it is, and they send it out and they don't get any returns. So like their return rate is 1%. And then Amazon sees other used media sellers with like a 10% return rate, and they're just like, avoiding giving them the buy box because of something like that, because now they have to deal with 10% more. I don't know. Like it's just,
There's no way, dude. My return rate's under 3%. I guarantee you, I got another one. Thrift books. Um, Delivery date December 1st. Um, and mine is 1 penny more. And they're getting the buy box over me by 1 penny. And they're telling customers you're not getting it until December.
that's the 1 penny undercut method right there.
That's
What was it?
insane.
What was the condition, Mike?
Theirs is very good and mine's good.
Right.
So Amazon
I,
says,
I've tested multiple SKUs for that, and I can go down about a buck, and very good is still winning my good, and I'm a dollar below.
doesn't make
Maybe
sense. No customer's gonna wait until December 1st to get a book. Like there's no rhyme or reason Amazon's like, hey, this is great for customers. They love waiting 2 weeks to get their stuff.
But did we just figure out that every
Yeah,
single one of these situations has a condition difference where
yeah,
very good getting the buy box over a good?
what if condition is actually going to play a huge role coming up?
One little change, Mike. Very. That's all you
No,
need.
I'll just put
Run it
everything
back.
like new. I'll just put everything like new. There's no point. There's no point in going very good. What's the point?
I
It's,
will tell you, so half price books, thrift books, all those big companies, I guarantee you their return rate is higher than your average FBA seller because they do not rate their shit well. Like I buy stuff from thrift books and whatever, Goodwill. They're not accurate at all. They also use stock photos too, but like when I buy stuff on eBay, I'll get something in. It said it was very good. It has a bunch of like stains on it. They don't care. Like they're so big. This is like like drops in a bucket for them. They're used to having high return rates. So this doesn't make sense even on that. Like even if you're following that train of thought, it doesn't make sense either for them to favor based on like, return rates if we're talking about that.
um, there are some nuances to that, but yeah, I suppose.
I got a good one. All right, use good is beating me by 1 penny in the buy box from Green World Goods, which is a mega seller. So they literally prioritize same condition to the merchant by 1 penny, and let the FBA one sit there not in the buy box and give it to the merchant for 1 penny difference.
Yeah, so that's what they do with FBA too. So
Yeah,
if the conditions are exactly the same, and maybe FBA is competing with merchant on condition and the penny undercut now. So maybe you have to be very good on FBA to kind of counter that. I don't know. I will say I do sell quite a bit of very good stuff. We definitely spend time conditioning our items with discs. We replace cases, we resurface. I have the EcoMaster, so it's a very expensive machine. So because I spent a lot of money getting these practices implemented in my business, we do very good. And I have noticed that the majority of my stuff that's selling recently is new and very good. I sell a ton of new stuff also because I have new suppliers, but I don't know. I don't know.
I'll go on record right now, and if the condition is a thing, I will send everything as like new. Just
I
same
wouldn't
exact
do
stuff.
that.
What?
I wouldn't do that.
For
I
what?
wouldn't like new because I would do very good.
No, there's no point. Why? If it's going to be based on condition, what am I going to eat? An extra 0.5% return rate? It's going to outweigh me trying to. I'm going to get more sales just going highest on the line versus going a step down. And I'll eat the extra 0.5% or even 1% in returns because you're going to get more sales by being the highest ranked good.
Yeah, if the return rate is in fact that low, if the discrepancy or the disparity is that low, then for sure I would do like new also. But I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. The condition, it shouldn't play that much of a role.
It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
When you say you had like very good, you can look at the listing and you can see if I don't know if you can see. I mean, I guess stuff that just sold like within the last couple hours, if you click on it, does it show you if there was a merchant that was, if there's like a very good merchant that you were competing with that you beat over to sell
Mm,
that?
that's tough. I have no idea. I know a lot of you guys have been actually like clicking on your items and going through them. I don't do that. I don't care that much to be honest, but I will check. So what you want me to look at one of the very good items that just sold?
Yeah, like if you can find one just to see if like it was based on condition, like if like I'm just asking if there was a merchant that was the same condition as you
Yeah,
that you beat out.
so I sold this um CD. It was kind of an old CD. I sold it for 740, and I'm looking at the listing right now. I sold it at very good, and the next buy box right now is very good at 739. So it is 1 penny cheaper than me in the same condition. I don't know if let me actually just put in the ASIN into Scout IQ so I could see what the other competition looks like really quick. So right now the buy box is at 739, and that is the only other FBA offer. Then the next lowest merchant offer is 740. I'll just put a picture in this chat really quick here so you guys can see. Um, okay. Uno momento, por favor. Right. Okay. So I sold mine. The picture's still loading. I sold mine for 740. If you look at that um, image, the next FBA is 739. I'm assuming that the buy box was going to the merchant at 740, which is why, well, actually mine wouldn't even match that. I don't know why it matched it unless the API changed somehow and it really screwed up my repricer. But I think what this person's doing, the next FBA seller is doing the penny undercut, and perhaps the merchant had the buy box and they penny undercut them, and then now they got the buy box. So whatever, I don't know what you guys can make from this image, but yeah, mine sold for 740, and that's the new buy box 739. I don't know if that helps or not.
According to the scouting software, on the actual page, is it showing the
On the
FBA?
actual page, it's showing that that 739 item is in the buy box.
Okay. My brain hurts. Can this
Dude,
So very good.
my brain is seriously scrambled eggs from all this bullshit.
Can I never have to deal with this again?
Yeah, I was thinking about this, and in all of Amazon's messaging, um, they would go over and over again that FBA sellers have a higher chance of winning the buy box. They would, it was in all of their written communications about buy box issues and all kinds of stuff. They pushed and promoted FBA. So to do this without explanation is horrible.
It's not opening them up to like potential lawsuits then.
They got so many damn bigwig lawyers. I don't think they give a shit about this, honestly.
I mean, it's also who's using FBA to fulfill their own stuff, right? Like these bulk sellers, they have like pennies that they pay for inventory and everything else because of the scale that they're doing. So like I don't know who makes the most on FBA, but are they going to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars trying to sue Amazon over this? Probably not, right? But like World of Books is doing many more millions of dollars, I think. So they would potentially sue if they felt like they were at a disadvantage as an FBM. And Amazon doesn't necessarily have a obligation to do this. It's just maybe truth in advertising, which is going to be a much harder case to get any damages from, I'd say. So I think we just got to buckle up like we kind of started with and just like be along for the ride. If you want to pull back, like nobody, should feel bad about doing that because we don't know what the future holds. But I think, what Mike has said, I think Fita said it, I think others said, if we just do what we did the last two times, it worked itself out, and then we were in a good position.
This could all be fixed tomorrow. Like, this whole
Yeah.
call could be irrelevant come
And,
tomorrow
and
morning.
none of them have lasted longer than 3 weeks, right? So if we come back, a month from now and we're still dealing with this, something's very different than the last two times.
I will say the condition stuff, I noticed it the very first buy box issue in March and again in the fall. So I don't like if it does revert back, then the condition thing doesn't matter anymore, which is good because I don't like that.
I mean, if I were Amazon, I'd want to have more of conditioned stuff so you don't sell garbage. I mean, one of the other things that we haven't talked about, but a few people I know sell in Walmart. Walmart doesn't want used media on there because they don't want to sell dog shit. They don't want to sell acceptable books or media. And so, maybe Amazon is playing with some of those pieces, but like, again, if they were going to do that, instead of having me send my acceptable books to the warehouse, tell me that, I can't, or make me pay double for warehousing fees or something like that based on condition, then maybe I'll condition them up, but I'll get more returns. But no communication doesn't make any
Well, the
sense.
thing is, the condition can be whatever. It's not like they inspect it for a condition when it comes in the door. So it just makes conditioning 100% irrelevant. That's why I would just do like new for everything. It's not like somebody saying, "Oh, is this like new?" Oh no, this is not like new. This is a defect. So like the whole idea of condition, it should just be used or new. There should be no in between. You either get a used copy or a new copy. You get rid of every wordage besides used. It's used or it's new. That's all it should be. Because playing the condition game, it's just it's fake. Because
Yeah,
there's no verification.
and to that point too, then also get rid of anything that's acceptable, right? Like if your item doesn't meet these requirements, you can't sell it on Amazon, and you just get rid of acceptable.
Oh
Like you
yeah.
can send in a book that has a separated cover as acceptable, and it's acceptable under Amazon's condition notes and everything like that. That's not a book most people want to get. It's got to be pretty like in demand and not available, but that's an eBay item, right? Like people can see the pictures of what they're actually getting, and we should be tossing that stuff. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
agree
they
with
can
you.
literally just come up with like one thing, so where if it comes in, and maybe the person scanning it in sees like that there is no dust jacket or it is severely water damaged, then you get charged for that because they have to dispose of it. But that's not going to be the case. This is all we're talking cents here, and Amazon currently doesn't want to make any sense with any of this, and they're never going to tell us anything. I'm ready for the like new YouTube tier. You want to learn how to make money on selling on Amazon? Condition all your items like new, even though
Actually, you could change all of your tiers to correspond to the conditions there.
I actually like that. 299ers, you are now considered acceptable.
I love it. I love it. That is actually beautiful. We should do that, Mike.
It kind of, dude, kind of makes sense. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, you know what? We'll have a waiting room for every Zoom call, and I only let people in based. There's only room for 10 people, and if you're acceptable, but there's a good ahead of you, then I let the good person in. Like,
No, 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 no. Let's not be unfair about it. It's just basically after 10 minutes, the good people can come in. After 20 minutes, the
okay,
acceptable people can come in, so
yeah,
you
yeah.
you have
Eventually,
this tiered
everybody
system.
gets in, right? It's like,
Yeah.
even though Amazon's completely unfair because some Joe Blow just has their settings set to, very good. We know if you buy books from these mega sellers in very good condition, like new condition, that shit ain't even close to the good books we send in. So the whole condition thing just makes my head explode. It's always been a waste of time. And if they, for some reason, decide to factor it in, it's just going to be a bunch of sellers that are just going to game the system like they already do, selling thrifted books new. It's just, you're not fixing anything. We got 10 minutes left. Anybody got anything else besides this? All right.
I was just, oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to mention I did sell a couple of holiday books um, that I bought using the OA model. And I haven't done too much of that, but for this one, I do think it's something I'd be interested in pursuing. I just need to get a little more organized. But it was something I picked up off a YouTube channel and threw it in Keepa, and it popped up an alert, and it had a really good return. So um, it'd be a method I'd be interested in exploring. However, one question I have with that method is what do people do when, they're waterfalling their prices down every 3 months or so, but you're trying to hold your prices high for the holiday peak? Um, I don't know how people deal with that, but anyway, I had one good sales day where I sold a couple of high dollar books, but other than that, it's been like crickets.
Brian does that with his seasonal textbooks. He'll lay it on you how he goes about it.
Sort of. Seasonal textbooks are a little bit better because they don't hit the high price errors, but like your Christmas books that you buy for $6 and then you sell for $30, those are where you're going to hit them a lot. What people typically recommend, you can hold them back, which I don't think you want to do because you don't have any space, as I recall from prior conversations. You can price them down temporarily and then price them back up and put them in the high price error again. So basically, if you get it out of your high price error and price it where all the merchants and everything are, and then you immediately revert it back so that it hits high price error again, you get like 30 or what is it? I can't remember how many days you get on the high price error before they're going to return it to you. So you can just basically try to reset it each time before you get to the end there, and they'll keep it in the warehouse and everything before that happens. You could also list them as collectible, and then you're not going to have the high price error, but you lose the potential for the buy box depending on what happens with the buy box. But in a normal a year ago buy box situation, you lose the buy box when you do that. So different methods there. The seasonal arbitrage Facebook group would be the place to ask more questions about that. That's a free group if you're not already in it.
Okay, thanks. I don't think I'm in that one.
That's Joji and Victor's group. So
Okay.
Matt in YouTube says, I think Amazon wants FBA sellers to lower their prices to be more competitive with FBM. They want customers to get quick delivery and a lower price, not slow delivery and a lower price. I see what you're saying, but they're not going to, I mean,
excuse me, like we're seeing examples though where the lowest price is not getting the buy box.
yeah.
So that goes against that. And also, if you want us to lower our prices and accept lower margins, you should tell us that instead of just squeezing.
Yeah, I think all the ambiguity is pretty annoying. Like, just send an email, say, hey, this is the norm, adjust accordingly, and that's it. Now we're all here running around like a bunch of chickens with their heads cut off, and we don't know what the hell we're doing.
Yeah. While they're hitting us for 3 times storage fees and the FBA fees, we just the FBA fees of us, what is there, 18 of us sitting on this call, we're paying well over, probably close to 100K a month in FBA fees across the board just from the 18 of us sitting here. So like,
Well, maybe that's the play right now is don't give the or don't give FBA the buy box so we have more inventory sitting in warehouses during a time where the FBA storage fees are tripled. They make triple plus their bonus, of us not
yeah,
selling it.
but they would make more from the FBA fees if they would just let us sell our shit FBA than the storage.
And they're losing because somebody's buying that item that's literally sitting in their warehouse and they're not getting the fulfillment and everything else either. Instead of World of Books is just paying them 15% or whatever it is for the listing fee for MF. Like it doesn't make financial sense for them to do that. I could understand if they said that the warehouses were too expensive and we need to downgrade this stuff. But how do you do that? You increase the fees on us dramatically for storage and everything else, for shipping, all that stuff. More so than they actually did. I mean, I know that we had that call earlier in the month, so um, yeah.
I will say this: a lot of people. I had like 13 one-on-ones today. A lot of people are, um, a lot of people that are treating it like a business see this as just another hiccup in the road, right? I think the people that are freaking out are the ones. No offense if you're freaking out, but I think I won't say everybody. The majority of the people that are freaking out have little to no skin in the game. These are people that probably never even thought about treating it like a real business and never, made a lot of dollars selling on Amazon to begin with. So it's easy for people to just be like, well, this is it. And like, you guys will see me over for as long as this goes on. I'm going to be responding to every FBA is dead post on Facebook as, oh, I'm so glad I quit 3 years ago because I'm just burnt out on people saying that this doesn't work. It's even right now, you still can make well over 30, 40, $50 an hour, even with the buy box completely broken. So don't let it discourage you. You guys see the shit I send out every week in my go-to list or video. I'm still sourcing. I'm still going to library sales. Nothing has changed. You just have to. This is when people are the loudest. It's always more fun to quit and yell about things instead of just being proactive and being like, hey, all right, shit happens in life. How many times we deal with shit? It just, and usually when it rains, it pours, right? And we all thought, oh, the software is going to go up next year because now they're charging the software is X amount of dollars for this. And then this happens, and Leslie gets the buy box, and she thinks she's going to be retired in another year because she finally got the buy box after 3 years. And then this happens, right? There's always going to be another hiccup in the road, no matter what it is. This is just another thing. And if you let the people bring you down and drag you down, and or if you're the person that's looking for somebody to tell you to quit, you're going to find it, and you're going to be able to find it super easy now. You're going to be able to just look anywhere, and you're going to be seeing somebody saying, well, this business model doesn't work. You're going to find the answer you're looking for. That's why I try to stay positive. That's why I try to tell everybody, listen, you still make a lot of money doing this. If you just say you still make a shit ton of money doing this, it might be less. Sure, on your wonderful phone it says you're down 20%, but do you really know your profit per hour, right? The percentage don't mean shit. How much are you making per hour? You're still making more than if you had to go work a job. You don't have a schedule. You can kind of do what you want. You can take the weekends off. You can take care of other obligations you have in life. So it's still 100% feasible, even if it stays this way.
There's a lot of chatter going on YouTube.
Yeah, there is. Oh man. Let's see here. If we believe the post from Amazon Mods, I don't even know if I should keep reading this because that right there alone. Reporting what they've been told internally, there are other dimensions like distance and condition in play. I think LP will rule most times. I don't know what LP means, but them Amazon mods, you might as well ask AI, or you know what? You know the JG Wentworth videos where you yell out your window that it's your money and you need it now? You should do that and see if somebody answers about what's going on with the buy box, because that is literally equivalent of listening to Amazon mods. Dev said, I'd trust a random guy on the street over an Amazon mod whose stories and dates have changed multiple times in their messages. Black Friday's next week, so folks are getting antsy. Yeah. Not saying the guy is right, but his story seems consistent to me. They ran a test in September, looked at results, then made permanent another date given. Match the lows until things change. You make money now, make more if KJ is really talking out of his ass. Warehouses are prepping and preparing for Black Friday. I won't be surprised if this whole issue goes away the following Monday. YouTube is greedy with advertisement on us non-members. Yo, junk man, you're not even a member, so you're not even giving us $2.99. YouTube takes 30% of that, and I have the ad set to the lowest possible thing that you can have on YouTube. So I don't know what you're complaining about. 1 of 3, kill me now.
Dude, I can get this video for free?
Get ad blocker. Ad blocker is free, and you just block all the ads, and I don't even get a penny for you watching the ad anyway.
Or pay YouTube an extra $8 and get rid of all of the videos on your videos.
All right, we're going down the doom and gloom route here, all right? I need answers from everybody. Amazon is done. You have to go work at a retailer. What retailer are you working at? I'm going to go with Target, and I'm just going to be the guy that folds clothes in the back in the men's section.
I'm not leaving my house. eBay.
No, an in-store retailer. All right, you guys are already.
You did not specify that.
Goodwill.
Goodwill, you gotta be nuts.
I'm just kidding.
Where do I want the discount? Is the big question.
That is true. I didn't think about that. Maybe
I already got a job. What do I need a second one for?
Maybe I go
Home Depot, so I can sell Gemma his tools.
Maybe I go.
I'll pick Walmart.
Home Depot, so you can get the discount.
You guys are just trying to game the system. I just wanted you guys to pick a place that you find most delightful to go to.
Chipotle.
Hell yeah.
Walmart.
I'm done.
Yeah, I would never, ever, ever work a retail or a normal job in my life. It's not for me.
Dude, Chipotle gives free meals on shift and 50% discount, dude.
That's crazy. I need to
Why
pick
do I need
a
a
full-time job at
50% discount if
Chipotle.
I'm eating on every shift?
Oh.
Schedule me for 4 hours a week. Let's go.
1 hour a day, right?
Barnes
Every
and
day.
Noble. Hey, all you book lovers, Barnes and Noble. They got nice stores. They got nice bathrooms. The stores are nice and clean. Not much riffraff going on in there. Where else we got?
Michaels.
Everywhere.
Jersey Mike's.
Everywhere I worked has gone out of business. I worked at Kmart. They went bankrupt. I worked at Toys R Us. They went bankrupt. Don't go where I go.
Lover's Lane.
No idea what that is.
Love is Lane.
Lover's
The sex
Lane. You
shop
guys
or
don't
what?
have a Lover's Lane out by you guys? Oh, it
No.
must be a
I don't
Midwest
think they're the
thing.
same stuff.
Lover's Lane. That does not.
It's
That.
a, it's
One of them naughty shops?
scantily. It's definitely like a sex toy shop.
Oh my
Um,
God.
We're definitely not in the same stuff.
The circus. I think some of us would do well at the circus.
I think I'd become a road guard at one of those construction projects. You know, the guy that holds the slow and the stop sign.
Yeah.
Be
I
outside.
remember somebody telling me in 1998 they were making $20 an hour doing that, which I have no idea
No,
what
they
that was.
pay, dude. They pay more than that now. Those flagger
Oh yeah, they
jobs.
got you.
Oh
That
yeah.
was like
Oh
that.
yeah,
That was really good money when I was making minimum wage of 5.15 working in a bank.
Holy
my
sh!
mom, she actually is working as a social worker, and they had a program to funnel single moms into that program because they were paying like $18 an hour in like Montana, where everything was like 5.25. Yeah, I don't know. Nice and quiet, not a kitchen. I couldn't do Chipotle.
I think at the end of the day, if we only got to make $20 an hour, that's like what, 4 9.99 DVDs or CDs you sell on Amazon, and all you do is throw it in a box. We still win being Amazon sellers. So this is it. This is it. We're still gonna do better than if we had to go. And you got a boss you got to answer to, right? You got a schedule. You kind of can do this at your own pace, and you still can make a decent amount of money. And I don't know. That's my take on it. Whether it sticks, whether it goes, whether the wind blows, whether the Grinch shows up or Santa Claus, life goes on. The business goes on. Gonna hunt and pick berries all day. Dude, you went last. If you gotta leave the house, dude, you're done.
Sure, actually. I'll just be a YouTube sensation like you, Mike.
Don't do YouTube. The day this happened, uh, the amount of DMs I had across social media platforms. If you're gonna create content in the reselling space, do it for the people, because there's not much money to be made on the back end, but it does feel good seeing you guys kick ass and make a decent chunk of money doing something as silly as selling on Amazon. So as much as I appreciate the memberships, it's there to keep the riffraff out. And I like seeing you guys be successful. I like having these talks and being with people that are actually in the business day in, day out, and knowing that there's somebody else that wants to be successful and succeed, even when it's the darkest days. And this is literally the darkest days we've had. I mean, not really. Restock limits were worse for me. Couldn't send nothing for 5 6 months. So theoretically, at least I can still send stuff and get it out of my house. But yeah, good luck with your FBM endeavors, everybody. Just keep sending FBA until this thing irons itself out. If you got to slow down, like we're talking about, if you're real strapped for cash, I got nothing against it. Just send at least one box every 2 weeks with each category, so you don't lose the buy box. Yeah. Final thoughts. Anybody got final thoughts before I go make some fake chicken sandwiches?
I was just going to say thanks for the episode that you and Max did. It helped pick me up when I was feeling a little discouraged.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta just get, some days suck, and when this is going on, it feels like more days suck than are good. But that's why I post the stupid Pepe gifs, to make you all laugh and realize there's light at the end of the tunnel. Although every day in the Discord, it feels like we always have some type of big discussion going back and forth, whether this is the end of times. It's like good versus evil. You got to just decide, you're going to be on the light side or the dark side, and which side is even the light side, which side is even the dark side. I
The
know
light side.
if I can make more than $20 an hour, I still, even at $20 an hour, this is better than me having to go work for somebody or like manage a store or anything like that. So like I still got a ways to go before I'm like thinking about jumping ship, and I don't think it could ever even hit that unless they just did away with FBA altogether, and then I'm not going to do FBM. So all
I
right.
don't foresee Amazon ever giving up on FBA. They've made too much money. I read somewhere where they make as much money. They actually make more money from FBA memberships than they do sometimes from sales.
Well, they get it coming and going, right? You pay your FBA membership, you then, they get $100 or whatever that is. You get Amazon Prime and all that stuff. I pay to ship the stuff to them at a discounted rate, but I paid for that. They put it on their shelf. I got to pay them for that. Once you buy it, I have to pay them for both the sale and the fact that they're going to pick it off the shelf and send it to you. They're making money every time on that whole system, and they don't have to send it to anybody else. Plus, everybody wants to see Amazon come to their house once a day now. You used to want to see the mailman. Do you want to see the mailman anymore? All they do is bring you bills. Like when you actually want stuff, it's Amazon.
All right, I just looked. I just sold the Wiggles 19 minutes ago for $10.96. The lowest price was a merchant fulfilled at $5.39. So there still is hope. You just have to sell the Wiggles exclusively, I guess.
What was the condition of theirs and yours?
Oh, shit. How can I... Hold up. I don't even know how you... Details. Wait, no. More. How can you tell what their condition is? Oh.
Just post it in Scout IQ or Scoutly or whatever, and you can see. That's the easiest way, in my opinion.
There's one... Well, okay. There's one... The cheapest one, good condition, which mine was $6.99. And I sold mine for $10.98 FBA. And that is the Goodwill of Western Missouri and Eastern Kansas. Just saying.
Wait, you said what was the condition again? Sorry, I missed that.
Same condition as mine, good condition. And theirs was...
But it still doesn't make sense that you beat them out for over $5 what they had theirs at.
Yeah, that just means that we know nothing about the problem.
Yeah.
So we just know
We're more
nothing.
confused now.
We literally don't know.
Remember, there is a regional buy box as well, so that could have something to do with it. But
yeah,
and how many offers are on the Wiggles? I have no idea. But yeah, and maybe somebody wanted FBA. They wanted it in 2 days. There can be so many things.
All right, you guys ruined my fun. I'll see if you guys needed references on your job applications. Feel free to put me down. I'll put in a good word for you all. All right, since this is the end of times, I'll say you guys are great employees, hard working. You guys are just get after it. Stay out of trouble, and yeah, you guys know where to find me. And hopefully the next time we talk, maybe even by the time Johnny has his call this Friday, this is all fixed, and you guys can all have one big party on Johnny's call, pop champagne. Smoke the ganja, whatever you crazy kids do nowadays. Have a good time.
that's crazy.
What?
And if anybody posts anything dumb in the Discord, you will get the smoke. Sorry about that.
He's giving warnings now ahead of time. He's like, don't post anything dumb. I'm coming for you. I did give him the approval to fact check people when they get a little bit out of hand in Discord. And so yeah, everybody just.
That's all right. Fita, I know where you live.
That's true. You've been to my house.
Hey, send me that address over so I have a little bit of leverage as well.
You can extort Matt, or not Matt. You can extort Max to get my address. So
nice.
Goes around, comes around.
If worst comes to worst, we just list everything like new. We make a bunch of money still, and yeah, it'll be a good time. So yeah.
Dude, if you're just gonna do that, you might as well just list it new and get the full money.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Not yet, at least. Give it a few months, and then we'll revisit that in a few months.